In Consumer Corner, we take a look at trends creating a buzz here in China. On today's show, we'll discuss the smog allowance that Coca-Cola Company is offering to its foreign employees working in China. In 2013, only 5 days in Beijing that weren't considered smog days. A smog day is one where the sky is covered by particles created by pollution. Among China's 500 largest cities, less than 1% of them met the air quality standards recommended by the World Health Organization. Among the 10 most polluted cities around the world, 7 of them are in China. The effect of smog on people's health and longevity is a long-term one. In May of 2013, Tsinghua University, Beijing University, MIT, and Israel's Hebrew University did a joint study. The report shows that long-term exposure to the polluted air can be deadly. The total suspended particle rise by every 100 micrograms per cubic meter lead to a mortality rate increase by 14%. The average life expectancy will shorten by 3 years, and an increase in mortality rates is mostly caused by cardiopulmonary diseases. The World Health Organization said that air pollution in 2012 caused 7 million deaths. 40% of them came from Chinese regions. This year's survey by the American Chamber of Commerce showed that about 48% of respondents said that pollution makes it difficult to recruit or retain executives in China. Many foreign employees decide to leave China, especially those with families and children. Even though some male executives wanted to come to China, the spouses refused to come with their children. For those who are living away from their families, some companies will give them extra vacations and free flights home. Since 2013, foreign employees started requiring companies to pay an extra hazard allowance as a condition for continuing work in Beijing when they renew their contracts with employers. The allowance is usually given to staff working in a region where political instability exists, like in Angola or Nigeria, and there might be safety threats in these areas. Generally, hazard allowances are 10% of the salary. This year, on March 12th, the Japanese electronics giant, the Panasonic Group, announced that the staff sent to China would get pollution allowances. The allowance is given based on PM 2.5 indexes to compensate them for harm done by pollution to their health. Although this compensation doesn't indicate they'll cover possible costs for cancer treatment in the future. According to the Times of India, the Coca-Cola Company is giving their foreign employees in China a smog allowance in order to attract and retain talent. It's reported that this allowance could be as high as 15% of their salaries. In the beginning of the 1990s, foreign companies gave foreigners working in China a hardship allowance. Several years later, they stopped giving it out. Now they're beginning to offer the hardship allowance again. Some companies call it a developing country allowance. Now companies like Panasonic and Coca-Cola have begun to highlight that they're offering pollution allowances in contracts. The Coca-Cola Company's policy has opened up a lot of discussion online about the topic. Many Chinese internet users question why the Chinese employees cannot get the same treatment as foreigners. One said, quote,
"Isn't it employment discrimination?"
But some of the internet users think the compensation is understandable. One said, quote,
"I totally agree. Foreigners abandon their good living conditions in order to work in China. They should get paid extra. If your company sent you to North Korea without an allowance, you wouldn't go."
Some think the government should do something about the pollution, but one joked about an atypical solution, which highlights how all of China is being affected by pollution. That person said, quote,
"The Chinese government should give subsidies to the whole country."
One joked about the numerous health scares facing Chinese citizens, quote,
"We grew up drinking melamine. What are we afraid of?"
Foreign companies have been giving pollution allowances for a long time now. It's a very real problem for multinational companies that want to bring talents to China. This issue has brought out the inflamed reactions of Chinese citizens because they have to live in these conditions every day. For many, it's depressing to think they live in an undesirable location. At least some are using humor to diffuse a tiring issue.